Good morning everyone. I hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday morning. I unfortunately cannot say the same for myself. This is Reganelite here. Hello everyone and welcome to Good Morning with me on Wednesday the 17th of September 2025. Scott, thank you for the £1 super chat. That's very generous of you. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for that. And good morning to everyone else in the chat. So, I don't know how to tell you this, guys, but I've got a sore throat, and obviously that means it's going to be difficult for me to do things going forward, and that they don't go away very easily. Clearly I've caught it from someone, and pretty much on the honey and lemon and on the whole lockets, pretty much, guys. Tons of water. So I just wanted to, before we dive into the usual stuff, I need to just be clear with you guys about some of the things. So first and foremost, I had planned to record some main videos, but I'm not going to do them now. So the videos that are coming out today will be fine, but there won't be any Thursday or Friday. The funny videos, good news videos, and speaking my mind ones, they were all pre-recorded before I caught this, so that's where they're coming from. As for short videos, I am still going to continue to do them because it only takes me a minute to do it, and then I've got a breather in between. So yeah, unfortunately a lot of flu going around at the moment. It's very, very infuriating for me because I have to rely on my voice, and when my voice is not working, it means I can't live stream. So it does put a lot of live streams at risk, because obviously we have the round table tomorrow, and then next I think the following week I have with One Angry Pagan, and then the week after that I'm supposed to have one chat with Witchy Goth. And obviously, because of what I do, it requires my voice. And the last time, obviously, had this channel was severely hurt. It was very, very difficult for me last time when I had the sore throat. So, but I'm taking everything that I can right now. And yeah, I've wrapped myself up very much, guys, if you can't tell already. We'll see how this live stream goes. No promises that there'll be a live stream tonight. I may skip it just to save my voice for tomorrow night, possibly, but we'll see. The good thing about the live stream tonight is it's not really too much of me talking. It's me playing video clips for you guys, so it's not that too bad there. Is it? So but yeah, I am developing a sore throat, and it's not gonna go away anytime soon, guys. So because it's literally just started. So, and these things take time to clear up, I'm afraid. So please be aware of that if I'm a lot slower today. So let's start with this one. Here is today's daily quota. If you can see it all right, hopefully you guys can. There. It is, let your hands be so busy catching blessings that you don't have the capacity to hold on to grudges. So let your hands be so busy catching blessings that you don't have the capacity to hold on to grudges. That is today's daily quota there. I am going to try and say my voice. I know I normally say hello to everyone, but like I said, because of my sore throat, I'm going to try and reserve my voice, guys. So I apologize if I don't say hello to each and every one of you, but I'm just going to say hello, guys, just to kind of save my voice if I can, because I do need to record short videos. That's something I definitely have to do for my work. So let's go into the weather. Not going to go too crazy in terms of talking about it. So this is today. This is some of the temperatures you can see there at the moment in Europe. And I've turned up the mic just because my voice is going to be lower, so you guys can hear me. And temperatures there not too bad. I'll put the wind on so we can have a look at there, see. So I think saw from yesterday there are some scattered showers here and there around, as there is, but temperatures not too bothersome, shall we say, there. For the next day, temperatures are getting quite warm. There is some scattered showers overnight on over Thursday early morning. In some parts of north of England, south of Scotland, there will be some scattered showers, but most of the UK will be clear of rain. Most parts, but it'll be windy. In some parts, the temperatures there be quite warm. In some parts, 21 degrees in London. I did say it's a bit weird that we're going to have 20 plus in some parts of the UK here. So it's not so it's not ideal there, guys. So, but there will be some high winds. Be mainly cloudy day in most parts there, but certain parts you might need a brolly or raincoat is preferable, really, because again, if it's high winds, they'll get blown away there, guys. Guys, can you please repeat what I said earlier at the start of the show for those who are coming in who don't know what's going on about my voice, because I do not want to consistently repeat if I can help it. If you can, I would appreciate that, guys. Next, if we just go over to what Friday's looks like here. So here is some of the temperatures and rain forecast there. Again, it seems to be between the north of England and the south of Scotland there that's going to be hitting with the rain there of wind and temperature there. Thank you, Peter, for the £2 super chat. Good morning to you too. Yeah, temperatures not too bad again, and possibly some high winds as well in some parts. I'll just showcase some of them for you guys just so you can see some of the temperatures and winds in different parts of the UK. And there's parts of Scotland, obviously they're going to get hit with some showers in some parts. Northern Ireland there, and some temperatures there. There's other parts there, 21 degrees in some parts, temperatures there, quite warm there. So I do like a good breeze too, Scott. Actually, they're really nice. So even on the coastal when they're not too windy. But yeah, temperatures not too bad. But you can see for Friday, guys, it's going to be quite warm in some parts of the UK, especially particularly in England, central England, central London. Those parts there, they're going to be experiencing warmer temperatures on Friday. So just to be aware of that. I'll scroll back out again because there's this big shower of rain coming from the looks of it here. That's overnight on Saturday afternoon. That's pretty much, yeah, that's not going away. So pretty much most of Wales and the Midlands of England is going to be experiencing heavy showers there. Temperatures still quite, no, London is still high. Manchester 13 there. Edinburgh, looks like Scotland aren't going to be experiencing any rain on Saturday. Well, they get a little bit, but most part of Scotland actually is going to be free of rain. That'll be nice for a Saturday for them, for you guys there. So that's pretty good as well. But yeah, some of the winds are pretty high in some parts there, guys. So just for reference. Right, so we're going to be looking at world news today. And I've got quite a few different ones, so we'll see how this goes. How this goes for you guys here. I'm not sure how my voice is going to cope for the hour, guys, but we will see how it goes. That's for sure. Like I said, I don't know if I'll do live stream tonight or not. Won't be too difficult, to be fair, because a lot of it's just clips. But it's more about how it's more about tomorrow. I'm worried about tomorrow's live stream. I'm worried I might be worse because I'm worried I'm going to be worse tomorrow, guys, rather than now. And even despite taking all medicines and whatnot, you know, it takes a long time for sore throats to clear up, guys. It's not something that can be cleared up overnight, unfortunately. Deadly attack, Gaza attack as Israel ramps up a ground invasion of major city. Again, I hate seeing photos like this. It just bleeds my heart out. I've seen the situation there. Jeremy Corbyn demands a UK response to the UN genocide report on Gaza. I do too. Yeah, crank up the pressure on the government to make a statement with regards to the UN report. Like, what are they going to say, that they don't recognise the report? They're going to have to say something, because they can't ignore it. Qatar condemns Israel's ground invasion of Gaza City. Well, they don't care, do they? UK lawmakers denied entry to occupied West Bank by Israel. I don't know why you're surprised by that. Unless they're on the side of Israel, they were never going to be allowed in anyway. Gone to waste. Kashmir growers watch apples rot as key highway is blocked. What's going on here? Carried them stranded. Why were they stranded? A distant Javed Ahmed fears he may lose his entire year's farming from the apples he grows. 2 trucks bearing these apples are worth more than 10,000 are among rows of stranded carriers that stretch for miles. Key highway. Remainder of this, the tarpaulin covers bulged with crates of fruits that have begun to blacken and collapse under the weight of rot. All our hard work for the entire year has gone to waste. We are painstakingly nutrients since spring is lost, and no one will buy these rotten apples. They will never reach New Delhi. We have no choice but to throw away both truckloads along the highway, he told Al Jazeera on Tuesday. The Jammu Senior National Highway, the only all-weather road connection in the Himalayan region, has been reportedly blocked since August of 24 after rain-triggered landslides had damaged sections of it. Okay. I thought it was more to do. Okay, it's to do with what happened with the monsoon. More than a month, the region has been battered by severe monsoon fury, killing at least 170 people, causing extensive damage to property, roads, and infrastructure. I feared that it was something to do with the tension between India and Pakistan, but it's not. That's what I was generally worried about, but it's not that. But absolutely terrible for the guy. You know, 2 truckloads of apples. Forms the backbone of India's administration Kashmir economy, with the valley producing about 20 to 25 million metric tons of apples every year. Roughly 78% of India's total apple output, according to data Al Jazeera collected from Fruit Growers Association. The highway blockage coincides with the peak harvest season in Kashmir. Oh, the timing is horrible. The timing is really, really bad. Locally called Howard, during which apples, walnuts and rice gather from thousands of orchards and fields across the valley. A local government official speaking on condition autonomy said because he was not authorised to speak to the media, he said about 4,000 trucks have been stranded on the highway at Guzgus area in southern Kashmir and their district for 2 weeks, and the fruit loaded on them and began to rot, resulting in an estimated loss of nearly 146 million. 146 million. In protest, growers shut down fruit markets across Kashmir on Monday, Tuesday, as they contended the government's inability to clear the key road. Why haven't they cleared the key road? That should be a priority. If the highway stays blocked for even a few more days, our losses will skyrocket beyond imagination. They need to get that unblocked ASAP. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. And especially the fact that it's its main connection as well. Qatar Emir visits Jordan to discuss cooperation after Israel attack. In case you're wondering, I've got a locket in to help with soothing my throat, guys. Qatari visiting Amman for talks in Jordan with Jordan King, days after hosting Arab and Islamic leaders An emergency summit that condemned Israel's recent attack in Doha. Yeah, The Gulf Cooperation Council pledged on Monday's summit to activate a joint defensive mechanism, the most actionable result of the meeting. Reported from Al Jazeera stressed the importance of Shirat Talon's trip, which comes the day after US Secretary of State Marco Rubio met the Emir in Doha in an attempt to repair the US-Qatari relationships in the aftermath of the Israeli strike. We're expecting this is going to be an important bilateral visit because it's the first one that comes after that strike by Israel on Doha on Hamas targets, bin Javed has said. As well as Israeli strikes on Doha, bin Javed emphasized that another key point for discussions would be Israel's genocidal war on Gaza. Bin Javed noted that the Emir's trip to Jordan, which was a crucially ally for the delivery of aid to Palestinians, was symbolic. The symbolism is there because Qatar wants to show the world it stands with the Palestinian people. And that will continue its diplomatic posture within the region and beyond, he said. In the meantime, Qatar's foreign ministry condemned Israel's assault on Gaza City, saying it considers it an extension of the war and genocide against the brotherly Palestinian people. A major attack is part of a plan to undermine peace process and pose a threat to regional and international security, the minister said. The ministry reiterates the state of Qatar firm and permanent position in support of the Palestinian cause and steadfastness in the brotherly Palestinian people. Well, for all the talk, it's not, again, like, oh, you know, you can talk all you want, but it's all about action at the end of the day, guys. Tyler Robinson's message about charges against him. Dehumanization, that Israel is able to commit its genocide in Gaza. We don't need details about that. India joins a Russian Belarus drills amid nuclear weapons launch rehearsal. Few Lebanese families return to villages in south destroyed by Israel's war. I don't blame them because they feel like they're going to get killed if they go back there. Trump announces deal with China to allow TikTok to continue operating in the US. Yeah, I didn't think he would shut down TikTok there, if I'm honest, guys. I never thought he would actually want to shut it down. Did climate change cause 16,500 extra deaths in Europe this summer? Short answer, yes. Trump's second state visit to UK will be met by royal pomp and protest. Iran executes man, it says, spied for Israel. Activists say false confession. Iran has executed a man it alleges spied for Israel as the country continues its push to root out what it says collaborate with Israel during the Iran recent 12-day conflict with Israel and the US, according to reports from state media. The Judiciary's Miller's news agency on Wednesday identified the executed man as Babak Shahbazki, who claimed he had gathered and sold sensitive information about Iranian data centers and security installations to Israeli handlers. That claim is disputed by activists who said he was tortured into making false confessions. They said Shahbazki was arrested for writing a letter to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky offering his help. Iran has supplied Russia with drones that Moscow used to attack Ukraine. The group Iran's Human Rights has warned that Shahbazki could be executed. Babak's message to President Zelensky offering to help in the war against Russia was used as an example of espionage for Israel, who they claim taught Babak to use Microsoft Word, the group said. According to Associated Press news agency, Iran did not acknowledge the claim. Activists had described Shahbazki as offering to fight for Ukraine. State media said Shahbazki had worked alongside Emery Fedki, another convict executed in June for spying for Israel since early 2022. The defendant's lawyer had requested an appeal to the Supreme Court, which rejected the request. Iran did not elaborate on how it executed Shahbazki, though condemned prisoners typically are hanged. Entrained in a decades-long shadow war of Israel and a full-blown conflict in this June, Iran has put death to many individuals it accuses of having links with Israel's Mossad's intelligence service and facilitating its operations in the country. Wednesday's execution marks its ninth person that Israel has hanged for espionage since the 12-day conflict with Israel, and that the US prompting fears from activists that the government could conduct a wave of executions. Yeah, if you have any connections, you're dead in there. Ben and Jerry co-founder leaves firm amid dispute with an Evela over Gaza. Jerry Greenfield said he can no longer in good conscience continue working for a company that has been silenced. He has retired after nearly 15 years, accusing the UK parent company Envelia of silencing the ice cream brand's so-called mission, particularly regarding Israel's genocide war in Gaza, according to its co-business Ben Colden. An open letter addressing the Ben & Jerry community was shared by Colden on social media platform X on Wednesday. Greenfield called it one of the hardest, most painful decisions I've ever made. Respectfully, what is him walking out on Ben & Jerry got to do with Gaza? What exactly could they do? And what exactly could this company do? I'm generally curious. I mean, what are they still working with Israel? Ben & Jerry's clashed since 2021. The Roma-based company said it would stop sales in the occupied West Bank and was inconsistent. Was inconsistent. Are they still selling in the West Bank? I see. The brand has since sued its parent company over alleged efforts to silence it. They described it as well as genocide, a rare stance for a big US company. At the time, the Unveiled spokesperson said our heart goes out to all the victims. Tragic. To reject the claims made by B&J's Social Mission Board. We will defend our case very strongly. We're not coming further on this legal matter. Greenfield said he was no longer in good conscience continue working for a company that had been silenced by Unevada, despite a merger agreement meant to safeguard the brand's social mission. The independence existed in no small part because of the unique merger agreement. Ben and I negotiated with Unveiled, he wrote in the letter. Both men are known for their progressive activism. He was arrested in May for disrupting the United States Senate hearing in protest of Washington. Support for Israel's war on Gaza. Nearly 65,000 people have been killed. Yep. A Magnum ice cream company spokesperson said on Wednesday that it disagrees with Greenfield's perspective and has sought to engage both co-founders in a constructive conversation on how to strengthen Ben & Jerry's powerful value-based position in the world. The spokesperson said it was grateful to Greenfield for his role in co-founding Ben & Jerry's. He did not immediately respond for requests for comment. Last week, Collins said the brand had attempted to engineer a sale to investors at a fair market value between 1.5 billion and 2.5 billion. It meant tensions on Velova, but the proposal was rejected. I'm still not quite sure how it relates to the Gaza situation, but I suppose it's just because a couple of them there are activists, I suppose. Going out to Google there. Let's have a look at the Associated Press, guys. I do apologise for the voice. I literally woke up with it. Was totally fine yesterday. Just have a quick read in the chat. Guys talking about something else there. Yep. Sorry guys if I'm not too engaging today. As you guys know, I'm not feeling great. Thank you, Led by Donkeys, for this image. They've been putting videos up of Trump and Epstein at Windsor Castle, which I think is very, very nice. Very, very good. Nice dig at them. Let's keep drinking plenty of water. Israeli troops press forward into Gaza City as Palestinians flee. A rescue saves Gaza archaeological items before an Israeli strike on a warehouse. Israel strikes the Yemeni's port of Hondur as Houthi rebels activate air defences. And Iran executes man for allegedly spying for Israel, which we know about. Spain threatens a Eurovision boycott if Israel competes. Israel should not be part of Eurovision. It shouldn't even be, before even October the 7th, they shouldn't be a part of it. Because guess what? They're not Europe. They're not Europe. I think it's ridiculous that they're part of Eurovision. I mean, I didn't watch it last year, and I'm not going to watch it this year. FBI Director Kash Patel clashes with skeptical Democrats at a contentious Senate hearing. Yeah, he's. They say I think it was Cory Booker who was saying, "You're gone. You're not going to be at another hearing. You're going to be gone." He will be hung out to dry. If Trump needs a scapegoat, he will make him a scapegoat. He'll make him a scapegoat. Prosecutors have already dropped nearly a dozen cases from Trump's D.C. surge crime, judge says. Justice Department says it's suing Oregon and Miami as it seeks voter data in multiple states. Pentagon says troops can only be exempt from shaving their facial hair for a year. Parents of teen who died suicide after AI chatbot interactions testified to Congress. Bottled water sold for £1.21, dismissed medical pleas, and faith tested at family detention facility. Federal Reserve wrestles with how many interest rate cuts and to make and how fast. Trump's threats to target radical left after Kirk killing raises fear he's trying to silence foes. You only just realised that now. Officials search for Charlie Cook's suspect confessed to his partner, prosecutors say. Social media has to get a grip and it won't let go. The Charlie Cook killing is a case study. King Charles prepares to welcome Trump's historic visit. Yeah, what's her name? Yvette Cooper greeted Donald Trump last night. It was quite embarrassing considering there was a clip 5 years ago of her basically criticising Trump, saying he should not be welcomed here whatsoever in I think it was like 2017, 2016 speech at a protest rally. Yvette Cooper. Take it no PMQs. I told Max on Twitter last night and he was gutted. I said to him, Max, I don't want to have to tell you this, but there's no Prime Minister's questions. And he was like, oh, the one time I want to do PMQs and it's not available. And I was like, yeah, it's not on the Parliament schedule. Sorry. Yeah, Max will not be live streaming at 12 o'clock for those wondering. I don't know if he's put out a post or anything on it. Oh, he might do a live stream, but it won't be PMQs because it's not available. It's not happening this one. And by the way, if he decides to do Prime Minister's questions, I'm going to stop doing Prime Minister's questions. I'm not going to clash with him on that, guys, just for reference, because that means I can just still do the Good Morning show. So, and I could cover some bits then if I need to from PMQs on my own live stream later on. UK judge temporarily blocks government plans to send migrants back to France. Yeah, I think we covered a bit of that yesterday. Foreign disinformation about Charlie Kirk killing seeks to widen US divisions. It's more the right trying to do that than us. Zelensky calls for European air defense systems as Russia strikes wounds 20 people. New York judge tosses terrorism charges against Luigi Magon. Lex murder count stand. Robert Redford involved in American Idol, often lived in part 2 there. Any other stories worth here? No, I've looked at those ones there already, guys. Yeah, the voice is not good. I will take some honey and lemon after this show, guys, don't worry. This is Middle East Eye. Israeli airstrikes, quadcopters and booby-trapped vehicles target Palestinians in Gaza City. Israel says Gaza City ground offensive begun as UN Commission rules Israel is committing genocide in the enclave. Top UN legal investigators conclude Israel is guilty of genocide in Gaza. At the UN, Western powers push phantom Palestinian recognition to safeguard Israel. Yep. That's the one thing they want to do, is try and safeguard Israel. How UK lawyers for Israel target pro-Palestinian voices. United States of Israel bipartisan US delegation draws backlash for the largest ever foreign trip. It's an analysis PC on how the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has turned Gaza's aid distribution into a profit-driven death trap. Trump invites Netanyahu to the White House as Israel pummels Gaza City. Oh, how many times has he been already? What, twice since Trump's been president? He wants to bring him over again? Like, again? Families of US citizens killed by Israel says Trump's administration refuses to investigate. Israel's foreign minister lobbies US state lawmakers to fight BDS. Al Jazeera appoints a new director general, unveils a major leadership changes. Interesting. UK Middle East minister says assessing Israel's genocidal intent in Gaza is difficult. No, it's not difficult, you stupid fucking idiot. He said, scrutinising arms exports, that UK cannot make determination without access to information about Israel's decision making. This is so bollocks. I'm sorry, this is absolute bollocks. The UK government is unlikely to determine that Israel is at risk of committing genocide in Gaza without access to Israeli intelligence showing clear intent, the Middle East minister has suggested, despite the fact that there's hundreds of thousands of photos and videos and witness statements that claim otherwise. He acknowledged on Monday to MPs in a tense subcommittee hearing on UK arms exports to Israel that former and current Israeli cabinet ministers have made condemnable statements about Gaza. Yovan Gallic, in one example, cited the hearing, said soon after the Hamas-led cyber attack that Israel was fighting human animals. Falconer noted the frustration of fellow MPs at the government's inability to reach definitive consultations on aspects of Israel's conduct, given that many grotesque incidents that we see. But he said that the evidential threshold to determine Israel's risk of committing genocide and certain breaches of international humanitarian law in Gaza is quite difficult to meet if you're not part of the state in question. It's not fucking rocket science. Judges have noted that often target decisions are made on the basis of intelligence other than other states that are unlikely to have access to. And it creates difficulty for us in assessing intent. Intent is a difficult thing to assess as it extends in the minds of others. Well, there's a little something called, obviously he's a bit thick in the head, so allow me to educate him despite my sore throat. There's something called statements that have been made countless times by Netanyahu and Israeli ministers. Their intent to wipe out Gaza, to wipe out the Palestinian people, and to claim all of the Gaza Strip for themselves. And as Martin Harrows just pointed out, the United Nations, obviously in its inquiry, declared that a genocide is being committed in Gaza by Israel as well. So I don't know how much more obvious you need to get here. Falconer's comment come hours before the UN's top legal advisor. Yeah, so it was before the UN declared it, by the way, on Palestine and Israel ruled on Tuesday that Israel committed genocide in Gaza. Okay, so this committee hearing was before it was announced, guys, by the UN. So that context does need to count. So you have to take that context into consideration with his point. Not that his point is right in any way, shape, or form. I think it's bloody stupid, if I'm honest. What else have we got here? Macron risks gamble on Morocco to retain African influence in North Africa. Will Qatar continue Gaza's mediation? I don't know. Fight back or die, how Elon Musk is weaponizing Britain's working class grievances. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Let's have a quick look at Sudan crisis here. Sudan left side racing entire village. Sudan's RSF trounced El Shafir inside network of earth walls. I learned to fire an RPG with YouTube. How one Sudanese village fought with the rapid support forces and won. He learned how to use an RPG from YouTube. How Sudan and Libya's triangle border region became a hotbed of crime and war. UAE have thread behind the RSF's capture of Sudan's triangle border region there. Sudan having lots of issues, guys. It's a real shame indeed what they're going through right now. It's good to see so many of you. Again, I do apologise for not being my umpty self, but I do appreciate you guys being here. Kirk's murder suspect offered his roommate a confession and an explanation, officials said. Shortly after Charlie Kirk's killing, prosecutors said Tyler Robinson sent a flurry of revealing text messages to his roommate. Trump's admin said it will target far left for Kirk's assassination. Prosecutors make no such link. Yeah, but they're going to make it a link either way. Pam Bondi says DOJ will be targeting people who use hate speech. Oh, what happened to free speech? Oh, is that gone now? Is it gone because you don't want free speech? War emotion rages on Capitol Hill as lawmakers grapple with Kirk's killing. Taylor Townsend apologizes over comments over Chinese food. Trump to meet King Charles as the state visit. Democrats on Senate Armed Services Committee called for hearing use of military in American cities. Kash Patel thrown his toys out the pram because he realises he's been shit at his job. Lab tests showed Russian opposition leader Navalny was poisoned, his wife says. Yep, but that does not surprise me, but Russia don't care, and there's not going to be any accountability, sadly. That is heartbreaking to hear. Like, it is really sad that he's gone. Federal Reserve is poised to cut rates for the first time this year. Trump's admin says it will target left groups. ICE officers in the fatal Chicago shooting were not wearing body cameras. Why not? That would help a lot. But to be fair, ICE don't want to be recording what they're doing, because a lot of it is not technically okay or legal. 9/11 families want Congress to push for FBI files on any potential Saudi ties to the attackers. Ooh. Don't think you're going to get that. No, they're not going to want to damage their relationship with the Saudis. Trump's stalled UN ambassador nominee may not be confirmed in time for key summit. Romanian prosecutors indict pro-Russian former presidential candidate. Suspect Maggie McCann's disappearance released after serving time in unrelated case. I'm not talking about that crap. Chinese descent who led... I mean it sincerely, it's been going on for decades and decades. You just don't know the answer there. You just answered your own question there, Regan. I probably did. Probably did, yeah. Flight departing from Boston that puts on the brakes after spitting out flames. Oh my god. Oh my god. How to get rid of bed bugs, guys. Yep, never mind a YouTube video. They've got the answer there, guys. The answer is there. Trump stalled UN ambassador. TikTok shutdown. Trump extends TikTok shutdown deadline for the 4th time, because he doesn't want it shut down, and people on the right don't want it shut down either. Democrats win special election for seat held by slain Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Holman. The race comes 3 months after Holman and her husband were killed in what Minnesota authorities describe as politically motivated assassination. Yeah, it's funny how they didn't want to. They didn't want to. You know, they're not talking about that. Hateful people deciding what is hate speech. That will work, says Peter. Indeed. Trump said Republicans will hold a midterm convention next year. Body of a black student is found hanging from a tree in Mississippi. Oh my god. My deepest condolences to his friends and family. That is absolutely horrible. Horrible situation. New York judge dismisses state terrorism charges against Louise Malgon, keeps the murder charge. Sports, not interested in. World's oldest mummy, said to be older than 4,500 year olds, and they're far from Egypt apparently. In Nepal to Indiana, to young protesters are rattling governments across Asia. Yeah, because their futures are being dismissed. Their futures are being dismissed here. Any other interesting stories there? Very fancy car. Robert Redford, the Hollywood icon, dies at 89. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace indeed. I think that's all we'll have from there. We'll switch gears, guys. Let's have a look at Euro News here. Thank you for those who gave super chats earlier as well. I do appreciate it. Euro News. Trump arrives in the UK for historic two-state visit. Prosecutors seek death penalty for suspect in Charlie Kirk's murder. That kid's getting the death penalty whether people like it or not. Because of the Trump administration, and that they will amplify the outrage and anger, he will get the death penalty. And they will put it... And don't be surprised if they decide to live stream his death as well. To basically say, this is what happens to all the left who try to take us on. Like, this is what they'll do. They'll put it on the live stream as well. They'll try to broadcast the whole bloody thing. US cancelled visas for people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Main suspect in Madeleine McCann's disappearance released in Germany. 5 takeaways from the tech for Jolly's speech. Missile chairman steps down over recent shock dismissal CEO. Poland detains Belarusian and Ukrainian citizen over drone incident. Taliban cuts internet access in Afghan province to stop immortality. Immortality? What? Sorry, I've got to have a look at this. Immortality. Taliban leader to prevent immortality. Let me go away. What's this? Has banned fibre optic internet in one province in Afghanistan to prevent immortality. A spokesperson for the administration said on Tuesday. There is no longer internet cable access in northern Bakhmut region in order of a complete ban from the leader, according to a spokesperson. It's the first time a ban of this kind has been imposed since the Taliban seized power. Leads the government office to private sector, public institutions, home in Bakhmut without Wi-Fi. However, mobile data is still functional. Ouch! The measure was taken up to prevent immortality, an alternative to be built within the country for necessities. Official government spokesperson. Where's the immortality here? I'm trying to understand this. He gave no further information, including why Bakhmut was chosen for the ban, if the shutdown was spread to other provinces. The screen is frozen. It's because they're running thousands of adverts. Euronews. That's why. Blocking the internet beyond my comprehension is such an advanced error. The resident spoke on condition only fears of Taliban reprisals. He said that he rarely uses mobile data because it was slow and expensive. Authorities in Afghan sometimes suspend the mobile phone network for security reasons, usually during religious festivals to prevent the detonations of explosive devices. I still don't know where the immortality is coming from. I want to know what the immortality is. It's the weirdest thing. Artifact recovered from Titanic's sister ship after 109 years. No foreign power makes decision for us, Mexico president says. European countries with the most government subsidies for buying EVs. Media sector awaits EU Commissioner clarity on political ads. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat, Alison Keir, for the Democratic Penguins Republic. Yeah, Pingu's okay. I'm not, I'm afraid. Yeah, Pengu's okay. He hasn't caught it. At least not yet, as far as I'm aware, guys. At least not yet. I think that's all I've got from Euronews there. Just a reminder, we only go till 12 o'clock. I seem to be managing okay at the moment. Bear in mind, later on I will be recording some short videos I will have to do as well. ABC News. More on Charlie Kirk's killer. LA police fired at protesters over 1,000 times. Los Angeles police officers fired over 1,000 projectiles at Trump administration protesters on a single day in June. Sorry, 1 second. Just trying to pause the video. Los Angeles police officers fired over 1,000 projectiles at protesters on a single day in June. Demonstrators pushed back against the Trump administration's immigration crackdown on decisions to deploy the National Guard to the nation's second largest city. Excuse me. The police department released a state mandate report on Monday on the use of force against protesters that included numbers on beanbags, rubber and foam rounds, and tear gas deployed during the days of protests in Los Angeles. On the 6th of June, police fired 34 rounds at about 100 people. On the 8th of June, police fired 1,040 projectiles at about 6,000 people, including 20 rounds of CS gas, a type of tear gas. 6 injuries were reported as a result of these projections. There were 584 police officers responding that day. The department said protesters had blocked off a major freeway and set self-driving cars on fire. Yes, I remember watching it from Fosh's live stream. He was live streaming. Someone else live streaming down on the ground at the annex. Reporting was concerning to Josh Parker, Deputy Director of Policy at New York University of Law Policy Project there. Thank you for that other £2 super chat, Alistair. For some reason, it won't let me click the like button for some stupid reason. There we go. And thank you for the £5 super chat. Wee bit for sore throat, honey, lemon tea, my friend. Yep, I've taken some. I took some before the live stream. I'm gonna be taking some after the live stream. I'll be taking some after the live stream for my lunch as well. But thank you for that, Alison Keir. Just a reminder, guys. I will be still recording short videos for you guys, but I won't be doing any big long format videos, just to kind of look after the voice a little bit. I need to do short videos. I can't not do them. The channel will suffer greatly if I don't do them. The sense that I got from the data is how you protect a poloso, as you could place in it wrong, Parker says. And just for reference as well, guys, it's not hard for me to do the short videos because I'm only talking for a minute, so there's a period there, so it's not gonna hurt my voice too badly. And my voice was a lot worse in the past for those who've been here long, those who've been here before. Last time when I had sore throat and that, you know, I got through it fine then, and I'll get through this as well. But it's gonna take a week for this to clear up, if maybe more, for this sore throat, guys. So please be aware. At the moment, I still plan to live stream tonight and tomorrow, so, but just to let you guys know that as well. Protester was hit, lost a finger, filed a civil rights lawsuit against the City of LA and County Sheriff's Department. Lost a finger. Ouch. That can't have been nice. Man attacked by bear in Yellowstone National Park. 6 children, including infant, locked in Milwaukee storage unit, the police have said. How on earth did that happen? The Attorney General Todd Branch and Blake silence on meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. Of course they did. Of course they met. We know they did anyway. And Trump's defamation lawsuit against the New York Times. I talked about that yesterday when I had a voice. Any other interesting stuff here? Not really. Bondi criticised for saying DOJ will target anyone who engages in hate speech. Kash Patel throwing a tantrum. University of Canada students, professors and staff sued the Trump administration. Chicago mayor's issues right to protest order amid festive federal crackdown. Fact-checking what lawmakers say during congressional weather modification hearing as well. Yeah, if you look outside and it's raining, if you say it's raining, yeah, that's wrong. That's what the right will say. That's what people on the right will say. No, that's not what's happening outside. But I can literally see it raining. No, it's actual sunshine. It's all perfect and rosy. That's what the right will tell you. Now, if they tell you something as give the weather report, and you say you go out there and you look out the window and it's like, yeah, it's raining out there. It's really pouring down rain. And they'll turn around and say to you, no, you don't say that. You say it's beautiful and it's sunny. That's what the right want you to do. BS. The Rwanda-backed M23 shows off new recruits as talks with the DRC drag. Save my voice a little bit. Let's have a listen to this, guys. That'll save my voice a little bit. Let's have a listen. Oh, first, dumbass advert. I can't remember the last time I tuned in. I tuned in and you had similar, says Dirtree's neck. Are you talking about me, Dirtree? I did have something, yeah. I can't remember if you were. I'm pretty sure you were there when I had it before as well.
On Sunday, the group paraded what it said were 7,000 recruits who had recently joined its ranks. But rights groups fear that prisoners of war and children are being enlisted against their will.
We have followed, as everyone else, the presentation of more than 7,000 of new commandos presented by the M23. But we are still concerned about forced recruitment that we have documented since the takeover of the M23 in North Kivu and South Kivu. And those concerns as well have been highlighted by the recent report by the fact-finding mission of the UN Human Rights Council recently in September.
Observers say the recruitment suggests M23 are preparing for a long fight.
I can tell you, if they're saying that a lot of these people do not want to be there, do not want to be in these fights, do not want to be a part of the army, I'm 90% sure it's true. And because the video is being played in front of them, they're all expected to put on smiley faces or put on a brave face and whatnot. Knowing you're now part of our group, whether you like it or not. Forced recruitment. You can I like that's. Let me just go back a little bit. That's quite scary. That's a lot of troops.
Preparing for a long fight, something that could impact ongoing talks with Kinshasa in Qatar.
Yes, so this might affect the peaceful process that both the DRC, Rwanda, and M23 are trying to reach through the Doha and the Washington processes. So the fact that both parties are beefing up their military presence in those regions, so it means that they are not ready to go through the peaceful process.
M23 seized Congo's North and South Kivu provinces earlier this year in a swift offensive that overwhelmed government forces and their allies.
Yeah, they don't look very happy, if I'm honest. I think, they're just putting on a brave face because they're told to on camera to show the world, yeah, we're totally on board. We're totally doing this at our will. We're not being forced against our will in any way, shape, or form, guys. Definitely not. What else is there? Nigeria, Guinness World Record. Tanzania tightens grip around opposition's presidential election approaches. When was this? This is 16 hours ago. Malawi presidential election. Let's have a listen, I suppose. Give it 1 second. Voting can be begun as following the closure of polling stations. I don't know if they've got the answer.
Vote counting has begun following the closure of polling stations at 14 GMT in Malawi's crucial presidential election. Current President Lazarus Chakwera is seeking a second term, running against the former President Peter Mutharika, with both candidates focusing on revitalizing the economy. If no candidate secures more than half of the votes, a runoff may be held. Approximately 3.7 million votes were cast today, despite some delays at polling stations due to issues with fingerprint readers. The Malawi Electoral Commission has until September 24 to announce presidential results, with the parliamentary outcomes expected by September 30th. However, some polling stations experienced delay primarily due to issues with biometric fingerprint readers, according to Reuters.
What does a country like them need biometric fingerprint data? Respectfully, why do they need biometric fingerprinting data? Am I the only one that thinks that's a bit over the top? Maybe that's just me.
Provincials were made for voters unable to write, allowing them to mark their ballots with an inked fingerprint, while others used traditional pens. Despite the challenges, the Electoral Commission addressed the situation, acknowledging that there were some queuing challenges, but noting that these were successfully managed.
Well, we'll see over the next couple of days a result from it, that's for sure. Another one here. Let's have a listen to this one here. This is saving my voice a little bit, guys, and it's also giving you guys some information as well. So it's a bit of a win-win situation for us.
At the launch of a national initiative aimed at combating the threat of improvised explosive devices throughout Somalia, the United Nations on Monday praised Somali authorities for this initiative and recognized it as an important step forward. This strategy is a critical step in translating existing policies into practical actions. As a ministry, we will expand and train the explosive disposal units of the Somali National Army. We will also ensure that the law enforcement agencies and intelligence teams are able to collaborate effectively in identifying and preventing explosive threats before they happen. The event that took place in Mogadishu, the capital, was coordinated by the Central Monitoring Department and saw participation from various senior officials of the federal government of Somalia and the international community.
The challenge now lies in sustained implementation, but we're confident that with continued national resolve and with coordinated and focused support from international partners, this strategy can strengthen Somalia's capacity to mitigate the threat of IEDs, protect the Somali people, and reinforce peace and security.
In Somalia, IEDs caused over 1,400 casualties in 2024. The United Nations provides critical training to Somali forces to detect and dispose of these explosives, reducing risks and saving lives.
Well, let's hope it does reduce risks and save lives. It's good to see that the UN there cooperating with Somalia to try and help, but it's also important to remember that it is a country that's marred in corruption as well. So I'm not jumping over the hoops there. I mean, it is a pretty awesome thing to have a national strategy to combat IED threats in cooperation with the UN, but I'm not jumping all over the place for it. If it obviously saves lives, great, because that's the most important thing there. Anything else here worth looking at? No. We've got about 4 minutes left, guys. We did reach the super chat goal. Yes, Alison Keir did get us there. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's have a quick look at the New York Times here. Trump involving Kirk killings in justifying measures to silence opponents. Yep, that's true. That's what he's trying to do. Text from suspect officer insight into a motive. Obama says the nation is in a political crisis. Yeah, thanks Obama. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, real glad that you've realised that. By the way, where the fuck is Kamala Harris? Oh, that's right, she's MIA still. MIA, and then she's going to pop up out of nowhere and say, I'm going to run for president. And everyone's going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Most UK political leaders are cautiously welcoming Trump, not this one. Yeah, that'll be Ed Davey, that link there. That'll be Ed Davey there. Trump's UK state's visit draws protests. Yep, of course it does. Quiet triumph for King Charles III. Okay, sure. Quiet triumph. Okay. Trump's Laziz's stance gives Netanyahu free pass for Gaza escalation. Israel's ground force moves to Gaza City, sowing chaos. How to prevent our first AI president? Are we gonna get? Is America gonna have its first artificial intelligence president? I don't think so. Because it only takes someone to alter it to think a certain way. Shutdown is simply a counterproductive response to Trump. This isn't just America. The whole world has soared on climate politics. Yep. Now the optimism era of the Paris Agreement is so utterly disappeared that David Wallace-Giles considers how to think about the climate future. Yeah, that Paris Agreement is a long time ago now. It's like completely disappeared from people's minds. It's a real shame. It is a real shame. Climate toll in Europe this summer, thousands of extra deaths. How Britain has gone too far with its digital controls. She held her baby for an hour, then the state took her away. What exactly are AI companies trying to build? State terror and charges against Luigi Magellan are dismissed. Kash Patel plays a familiar role of politics at a Senate hearing. Democrat opposes stopgap bill raising odds of a shutdown. Fired by Trump, ex-Labour official warns against politicising economic data. Any other stuff here? Rest in peace to the actor again. How a nation's bureaucracy went up in smoke. Arson attacks during protests in Nepal destroyed buildings, court files, and even records of international agreements and state investments. Wow. The recovery then from shopkeepers and stores were looted during anti-government protest.
त्यहाँ जेनजीको प्रोटेस्ट हुँदाखेरिमा यहाँ जेनजीको नाममा चोर्ने बढी भयो क्या हामी बेजत भयो नि त त्यही अनुसारले हुँदैन त्यस्तो गर्नु हुँदैन भनेर भएपरको सबै कुरामा त्यो अनुसारले अब कहाँ लया छ भन्दाखेरिमा हाम्रो घरतिरै पर्यो क्या
Now on to box gym with his friend and runs her own business. We've been helping his home appliance store in the community.
मेरो एउटा बिजनेस छ त्यो ह्यान्डल गर्न मलाई यति गाह्रो छ हैन देशको गभर्नमेन्टको हिसाबले एकदम करप्टेड भइसक्यो कि अहिले त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ मलाई अब बिजनेस गर्न यस्तो गाह्रो भइसक्यो जे कुरामा पनि ट्याक्स भएछ
तपाईको सेल्स राम्रो हुँदैन सबैमा तपाईको कुचिसकेको छ एकदम
रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ दिनुस् हामी अझै खोज्न जान्छौँ
एकदम दाइ तपाईहरुले गरेर मैले यत्रो सामान पाएको छु
They began looking for clues about the looters in security camera footage.
स्योर टेक हो त्यो होला पहिलो क्याप लाउनु हाम्रो दाइ हो सबैलाई भगाइराछ
Soon a group of amateur detectives were on the move.
यहाँ आउनु त यहाँ फ्रिज यहाँ के रे फ्रिज खाटमुनि छैन कोले ल्याएको हामीले लिएर आएको हो त हिँडेर आइ के हो
They caught them.
तपाईँ कहाँ छ तपाईँ देखाउनु त्यो गाडी कतापट्टि देखाउनु न देखाउनु
तपाईलाई केही हुँदैन तपाईले गल्ती गर्यो ठीक छ हामीले केही गर्दैनौँ
तपाईँलाई
बुझ्नुभयो नि अर्कोचोटि यो यस्तो हुनु भएन के
Group said it recovered almost 1/3 of the items stolen from the store.
त्यो अनुसार त्यो पनि एउटा करप्सन बराबर भयो हामी प्रोटेस्ट गरेको कारण भने गभर्नमेन्ट करप्सनको लागि हो अब त्यो सबै भनेको त्यो लुटेरालाई त लुट्न दिने त होइन नि त हामी गभर्नमेन्टलाई त लुट्न नदिरहेको किसिमले हामी प्रोटेस्ट गरिरहेको छौँ तर हामी माथिकोलाई लड्नुभन्दा पहिला हामीबाट बन्द हुनुपर्छ
Well said. Well said. That's well said. To change the government, we've got to change ourselves first. I couldn't agree more with that. Well said there. I think that was a fitting piece of written words there at the end there for it. Guys, I wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who's come along. Thank you for all bearing with me as well. Thank you for those who gave super chats today as well. Really appreciate your support, guys, because it really does help keep the channel going as well. Keeps me financially. Can you stop that water bowl? Thank you. As well, so thank you guys so much. I should be going live tonight. If anything, I'll drop a post saying if I'm not gonna go live or not. But I will be recording some short videos for you guys. But there'll be no main videos dropping tomorrow, just short videos, and there'll be the funny video dropping on Friday as well. But yeah, just be short videos, so no like main videos. I'm going to stop them for now just to kind of protect my voice a little bit while I use it for other bits, guys. So thank you guys all for coming. Thank you guys for all your comments. Apologies I didn't say hello to everyone. I'm just trying to protect the voice. But on your way out, if you can, just hit the like button, share this across social media, subscribe if you haven't to already. Do check out Rumble and Patreon because I do have content still dropping over the week on those platforms if you want to check them out as well. And enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you guys are doing, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.